Hey everyone, this is Kieran from MSK Physio, and today's exercise is an exercise for starting to actively build some thoracic extension. So what that means is the ability for my upper and middle back to be able to bend this way. And so for some people, it's not always about getting all the way back. It might be that you're stuck here and you need to start being able to get a little bit straighter and taller. This is a really good exercise for starting to build that capacity back. So just as a precursor sort of statement for this exercise, you need the range to be able to do it. And so what that means is that we have another exercise where you lay down over a towel and you start to build some extension capacity. I do that for a couple weeks before really trying this one out. It's not that this is going to create problems, you just probably won't get as much out of it because you don't have the range to be able to train and try and build some active strength into. That being said, if you feel like you try it and you feel like you're getting something out of it, then by all means continue. So, thoracic extension is a bit of a tricky one because it's an area of our body that has a lot of other things connecting to it. So we've got lots of muscles connecting to it, we have our ribs connecting to it, and so there's quite a variety of different movements that can happen all at once or can happen opposite of each other. And it's an area of the body that just gets pretty locked up for a lot of people. Locked up into flexion for generally guys, and then for whatever reason we see a lot more extension with females. That's not a hard rule, it just seems to be what sort of we've seen in practice. That being said, it's not bad to be in either of these. They both have uses. For example, it's really good to have some flexion so that I can reach out and push, and I really need some extension so that I can pull backwards and do big breaths in. So they both have purposes. So for this, we're trying to build the ability to extend. You might need a little towel. Probably this is a little big. You might probably use a little bit more of like a hand towel. But what we're going to focus on is this portion right here at the front of the chest, your breastbone. And we're going to lay it on the tummy, and we're going to think about trying to push this into the ground, okay? And for some of you that might feel extremely difficult at first because there's a sort of a space between that spot and the ground, and that's where the towel comes in. It fills that space up, okay? So I'm going to try and not sort of destroy the mic here, but if sound goes a bit funky, we'll kind of move in and out so that you can see the movement, and then I can talk about it a bit, okay? So I'm going to go face down. I'm just going to relax my forehead onto the ground, and I'm just going to see if can I push my sternum, my breastbone into the ground, okay? So I'm here, and then I push down. Now it's a subtle movement. So it's a subtle movement, but for those of you that don't have it, so when I laid flat, my breastbone's already touching the ground. So it didn't look like that a lot happened because I was already there. What some of you might have to do is just roll up the towel just a little bit, enough that it fills the space, not that enough that it pushes you further from the ground. Just going to fill that space right into that center of that chest on that sternum, and then you've got something to push into. Now, there's going to be a temptation to get the shoulder blades involved and the neck muscles involved. In the early stages, just roll with it, that's okay. It might be things that you've developed to try and help you create thoracic extension. And so they've served a purpose, but we're looking to see if eventually can you get those areas to relax and have them become sort of an on-off, like, yeah, I'll get my shoulder blades to help if I want them to, or no, I can do it all right with just the thoracic spine muscles. So what that might look like is people might lift their shoulder blades off the ground like this. And so they think they're doing the exercise, they think that they're actually pushing down and creating this extension in their spine, but they're actually only retracting their shoulder blades and creating kind of a false extension. And another one is with the head as well. So by doing this, I'm not actually extending through my thoracic spine. How you might incorporate some progression into this is a lift of the head eventually for more weight going through those muscles, but you would be looking down at the ground like you're reading a book, and it would look like this. And so by me getting further and further up, it's happening more in my upper back. I'm not bending down here. That's kind of as I get further and further and further and further and further up. Okay? Little things that are going to help with assisting this movement are things like breathing in. So when you go to squish your sternum into the ground, you try and fill this space in here. I'll breathe in at the same time, and it'll just help make that movement a little bit more. But as soon as you have capacity here, you'll want to move into some more of our challenging exercises, which involve certain things like reaching, because these are involved with extension if you're reaching overhead, or you might have to move into building some flexion as well, and so we've got some exercises for that. If you like this video, then please hit like below. Otherwise, to check out more of our content in the future, you can subscribe to our channel by clicking our logo over here. And to check out our latest video, click up here.